Multiple offers, are they back? Are they actually working? Are you trying to list low and trying to sell high? That's right, I said trying to. Guys, this is the midweek market update, but I want to share this with you guys right now because what we are seeing and what we have been seeing is still properties coming on the market low and trying to get a higher price. In some cases, it's actually working, and in a lot of cases, I want to say it's probably not working. And here's what I'm noticing happening right now, okay? Basically, if we see a house that is listed at $799 and we have a house that's listed at $825 that's not holding back offers, but the $799 is holding back offers, what we're noticing on the feedback calls from the agents that are showing these houses is that when we get feedback on the house that's listed at $825, which is our listing, they basically tell us that, hey, we are overpriced because they just saw a crazy nice house for $799. How could we possibly be at $825? Guys, this is a big mix-up right now. I feel like agents that are going out right now with their buyers, a lot of them are not able to tell their buyers like, hey, what are these houses actually selling for? Or they're just all of them are overly optimistic about what they can actually get these properties for, and it's just not working out. So do I think it's a bad strategy to list low at the beginning to try to see if we can get somebody? No, I think it's still probably a good viable option as long as, the house shows well and, the marketing is correct on the property. There is a chance that it's going to work out. What's the chances? In my experience right now, it's maybe 20%, 25% that it's actually going to work out. Because if we list a property for, say, $799, people are thinking that, hey, $799 is a good number, or they think that, hey, maybe I could get this for $750 because I'm going to negotiate because there's so much inventory. So I think that this is a kind of a repeat a little bit of what I saw in 2017, where people just didn't understand how the market was going to move. And I don't blame them. It's still kind of confusing, but what the issue I find is that it's still the buyer agent that's not actually not all of them. There's some really good ones that understand what's going on, but I find that a bunch of them that we've been speaking with, they just are not educating their client correctly. So it's a bit of a hit and miss with that whole thing. Let me know what you guys think about the multiple offer thing. Like, if you were to list your house right now, would you still be okay with considering a strategy to list it low and then try to see if we could bid it up? Just interested to know what you guys think. But we are here for the weekly market update, so I'm going to keep it brief with it, guys. Basically, our inventory is still on the rise. It's not as high as we were reporting last week, but it is still piling up, I would say. So this week we saw 836 new units come to the market, which is about a 2.8% increase in our inventory. Last week what we saw was 1,135 units come to the market, which was a 3.9% increase. So the weeks prior to that 3.9%, we were seeing it kind of cool down, and then we saw it spike at the 3.9. So now we've come back down to the 2.8. So let's kind of see where that goes. Year over year inventory. So last year at this time, we actually had about 9,900 units less, almost 10,000 units less a year ago right now, which is about 47% less inventory than we did a year ago. We have 47% more, I should say. And the crazy number to me still is that from January 1st to today, May 21st, we actually have 106% increase in inventory. I don't think I've ever seen this happen within 5 or 6 months, that we have 106% increase in inventory. What does that mean? It's over 15,900-ish units on the market. Again, I want to break it down because really what I'm starting to look at from last week is all of this inventory actually sellable inventory? These listings that are on the market, are these people serious about selling their property? And this is how I kind of determined that in my own math. Basically, out of the 30,829 units that were active on the market when I did these stats, there was almost 1,300 units out of that which was sold conditionally or sold conditionally with an escape. So that means that there is an offer that's accepted pending some conditions, which is only a couple of percentage of what the inventory is. But the interesting number here is listings that have been on the market for 45 days or more. That's just under 9,800 listings, which is almost 32% of all of our inventory. So 32% of our inventory has been on the market for 45 days or more. 60 days or more, it's just over or just under 6,600 units, which is over 21%. So over 21% of our inventory has been on the market for 2 months or more. And then 3 months or more, we've seen about just under 2,800 units, which is about 9% of our inventory. So I start to look at 45 days and say, are these guys really serious about selling or not? And again, this kind of comes back to like, you know, with these extra, what I want to call extra listings, are they like causing noise in the market where they don't really need to be? And again, if I was a seller right now that I didn't need to sell, and if I'm trying to sell because I'm trying to get the highest price, I think you're actually hurting yourself right now. If this is what you're trying to do, trying to get the highest price in this kind of a market and being overpriced, I think you're hurting everybody else at this point. So as a seller, my advice to you is if you don't need to sell, don't be causing noise on the market right now. In terms of sales, year to date, we're still down. It's about 24% down in sales, which equals to just under 6,700 units less sold compared to last year. And if I look at it week over week, it was a weaker week. We were down about 5.2%, which is about 65 units across the GTA. So not a huge deal, but it's still 5%. I think really it was because of the long weekend. In fact, our team here has like 2 offers that are conditional that we wrote last week, and we haven't recorded them as sold firm yet, which they are going to get firmed up very shortly. In fact, one just did right now. And if we look at price week over week and the 52-week high, like I'm seeing the prices starting to take a little bit more of a hit. The numbers are really skewed right now because if I look at overall in the GTA, it appears that we're flat or we're down by like 0.6%. But I think this is really something that we're going to have to compare at the end of the month, which is going to be in a week or 10 days or so from now, and then just see how we did overall this month versus last month. I think the proof is going to be there where the prices are actually going. You know, inflation came in a lot lower than what we were expecting. Surprise, surprise, carbon tax. They were saying it's not making our lives expensive, but it actually was. And then let's see what ends up happening with this trade agreement with the US. That's still something that's pending. And I think that, you know, hopefully once we do get this resolved, as I've been saying for weeks, that I think that we will add a little bit more confidence in the market. And just on a note that what we're seeing on the ground level over here is we're starting to get more buyers that are actually serious. You know, everyone wants to try to time the market. We don't know where the bottom of this thing is going to be, but there are some really, really good deals. One of our buyer clients over the weekend got into a really amazing deal. Like if I was on the market looking for a property, this is the one I would be buying. I think they got an awesome deal, and hopefully we're going to be firming up on that in the next day or two. If you guys have any questions about the market, where things are going, if you want to evaluate your own situation, get a little real estate checkup from the neck up, you can always DM me, shoot me a text, and I'll be happy to spend a few minutes on the phone with you guys and give you my 2 cents. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of the week. Take care.